Welcome, folks, to a special Tuesday session of the usual show. I'm chatting with Javi, soldering with Javi, and as you see, I've spent a little time working on my new workbench, at least part of it. So I'm going to take a break while I wait for you guys to pop in, populate the place. And then we're going to do a few little things here. A few odds and ends, whatever. Phew. So yeah, today I slapped this bench together, and I'll share with you how I did it. And welcome one and all. Let me grab my computer here so I can watch you guys from my desk rather than from the awkward across the room venue. So let's see what I can do here. I want to working on the plug situation. I'll fill you in on all the different things that I'm working on. Luckily, I've got this one for now. I'll give you a little tour of my desk in a second. And welcome, Glenn, Marcello, Bobby. How's it going? How's everything? I am in the process of, I wasn't sure whether I was going to just solder on the old desk or start the new bench, but I decided to do this. So hopefully I'll get a little work done here on the new thing. And pretty soon, oh, what happened now? Come on. There you are. Okay. So I am, let me get on YouTube real quick on my show so I can follow along with the comments. Oh boy, it is a very long yet very productive day today. So I can't complain. Let me pop out my chat here. I'll be right with you folks in a second. All righty. Yeah, I got a decent internet tonight. Yeah, it happens to be on a okay, where's my, oh, here it is. Happens to be, unfortunately, on a Tuesday instead of a Saturday, which is what I would have preferred, but well, beggars can't be choosers. I'm gonna make sure my next Saturday. The thing is, everybody was using the internet on Saturday, and I'm pretty sure it was partially my fault. I might have left a couple of YouTube streams open on other computers, and you know how it's automatic and all that. So there is that. Well, So I'm going to start populating this. My goal for today is a very, very simple one. The next order that I got going out is limit switches, a probe, and 4 connectors. So that's all I'm doing today here. So I just got a setup for that. And in the meantime, I'll give you a wonderful tour of. I really feel a lot more comfortable, and I feel like I can work now with this setup, because I got to tell you, the other one was just too. What's the word? I can't think of a word for it. Too cluttered, and too busy, and I like organized. I like all my stuff in one place, organized. But when I've got, I mean, you guys. Well, let me show you the room. So I'll give you a little tour of the setup I have here tonight. So, you guys that are early, you get all the good stuff. Let's see here. All right. So, obviously, excuse me for making you dizzy here. That is that half of the room. There's the Gatton folded up on the I just have it braced just in case, because the couplers is the only thing holding those 2 things up, and I don't want them to fall down. I don't have them cantilevered yet. I don't have them those springs on those things to offset the weights. But there's the Gatton, and in front of the Gatton, obviously, is all my shelves, my colored shelves here from Harbor Freight, and my black plastic shelves, and they've got a lot of the stuff on them. Move. Bear with me. I'm trying to move. Trying to navigate through this. Okay. And so, hang on. Goodness gracious. How I get caught up in a million wires. You know, it's my fault for not going wireless, but frankly, not in the mood to go wireless. Not at the moment. There we go. Okay. Sorry, folks. And let me continue the tour here. So the other side of my office is normally, you know, I've got a bunch of nice, neat, relatively neat, organized shelves. I've had them for years up here. It's just some of them are out and missing. I got to put them back. But so I had this thing all neat, and then I ended up taking this the drill press, the jet motor thing, and this huge monstrous. This is actually a 64-inch laminator from my days in the sign business, and it was on the corner here. It was on the corner. So now look at my shop as you see it. Let me back up here. This is the new setup. The new setup is now the table's going away. The table was there just temporarily because I needed to set my work. I built basically a box and put a ledger on the back and lifted it onto the table, lifted it onto the ledger, and then I have some, you may be able to see them, I'll show them later. I have some major thick Torx or Spax deck screws in there going straight into the studs, right through the wallboard that I have, the shelving wallboard, through the drywall, and then into the studs. So, because there's drywall obviously behind this, well, not obviously, but there's drywall behind this, my little slat walls. So these are the slat walls that are very annoying as far as as far as psychologically. They're just they're quite annoying. So anyway, this the shelve's not completed yet. I need to put on that side. I need to put a support for the top shelf. Need to put a support along the wall for the bottom shelf. Although I mean they're the way it's built, it's pretty solid now. But in the middle, if I put a lot of weight, it'll bow, and I don't want that. So I'm also going to put a brace in the middle, cantilevered. And hey, Dave, how's it going? And on top as well, a small one. Now it's going to get this that you see that piece there. That's that little piece is only 6 foot tall. This is 8 foot long. And so the piece is going to go almost all the way to the end, very similar to the other setup I have, to the other bench I have in the other place. And so I can have that area over there to place this computer, keyboard, and all that stuff. So I don't have to be stretching cables all across the room. And so I don't have to have a little tiny computer to look at my stuff. So the only thing that's missing, like I said, is the middle shelf, and I've got some lights coming in. We're gonna put a like a valance here. This where is it? It's right over here. Yeah, let me just. I don't think I can do it justice, but hang on a second. Basically, this is going to go all the way across the top here. So that'll hold that top piece extremely sturdy, and it will also cover my lights from glaring in my face. So that, as they say, is that as far as the that's the workbench I designed, and I designed it in the other place very, very similarly, except it was 3 shelves on affixed columns. This one I designed it as one big box on a ledger. I prefer this design because this way I want to say it's portable. The other one I have to take apart in 3 pieces. This one I could just unscrew 4 bolts on the top, and that's it. And this whole thing basically lifts off, and I can move it with all the components that are going to be in there. Obviously between me and someone else, I could just carry it 2 foot by 2 foot by 8 foot and hang it on whatever wall I want. So I like this setup for a electronics or otherwise workbench. So let me excuse me for a second as I get this camera back into the proper location to its wonderful setup here. Okay, and let's see. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Bear with me. I'm going to rest a little bit. Good evening, Paul. Good evening, Michael. Good to see y'all. As I was explaining, I just set up my desk. This one, it's a little. Now, here's the thing. When I brace it over here on this side, it's locked on this side. And when I brace it over here, this is obviously it's 3/4 ply, so it's a little bit, it bows a little. Once I put that valance on, this thing's going to be solid. Once I put that little piece, that 3.5 inch by 8 foot piece screwed in there all the way across. I may put either a lip on this one, or I just might put a brace in the middle. Because if I put a brace in the middle at the 4 foot mark, that's plenty. Because I have support. I will have support on the wall, and I will have support on the other side. So, a clean desk and a clean work area. Yep. You're on the right channel. But
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, but unfortunately, with a clean desk, you can't get anything done with a clean desk because I don't have anything to do on it. So that'll soon be remedied. Come on. I gotta tell you. Hey, Robert, how are you? Welcome, welcome, Paul. So, um, let me start bringing over a few of my things. Namely, I need the soldering iron. By the next show, I expect by tomorrow, because this week I'm going to have a show every day. By tomorrow, I should have the shelf in place. I should have, if it comes in on time before the show, I ordered a nice big long 12 outlet extension bar, two of them, one for below the shelf, one for above. So that should work out real nicely. I cut a hole over here for the outlet, so I've got power there. Right now, I'm using this cable, retractable cable, coming down from the ceiling, because, well, I put the show for a reason. I got yeah, that is the Gatton over here. Um, it's Let me see. I don't know if you can tell, but I mean, I'm not going to take the camera off again, but I was showing the well, yeah, I could take the camera off. It's not that hard just to me to show you this. Okay, so the Gatton, there's the Gatton, hidden behind. It is vertical, by the way, just so you know. I do have uh, look at my videos. I haven't created a specific video to show how I do the up and down movement, but it basically slides up and down very easily. The Gatton goes up and down so I can operate it at any angle, vertical, 45-degree, horizontal. It's very convenient in this form because the work. The Gatton itself is 7x7. The work area is the maximum ever. By the way, if you guys want to know what the maximum possible work area is for a Gatton, it is exactly, no less, no more, exactly 58 and a half inches on the Y and 70 and a quarter inches on the X. You cannot possibly gain another inch or another fraction of an inch on either location. It's that simple. The way the Gatton is designed, you have to have those 13 and a half inches on the Y, and you will lose. I've maximized mine, and because of um, the thickness of the bearings and the coupler, you basically will lose 1 3/4 inches, and the wood, obviously, you will lose 1 3/4 inches on your. Sorry, yeah, 1 3/4 inches on your X. Just saying. So yeah, so that's that thing, and then I've got the shells in front of it. This will all be nice and neat tomorrow, or neater. And this stuff I was showing earlier, this laminator that I have here has been stuck on the corner here, where I'm now seated against the wall behind me, and so has that shop vac and the drill press. It's just. Yeah, like I said before, I I got to get wireless one of these days, or at least, closer to the computer. But anyway, so that's that. Let me start putting this stuff in the. Let me start putting all the appropriate things out. I need my heat shrink gun. I need my soldering iron and setup and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I piled everything into boxes because I had to get it off the table so I could, do all of this stuff. But, okay. So if you have any questions or if you missed my description of the workbench and everything I'm going to do to it and how I put it on there, well, catch the show earlier, and you can watch that again. Got my magnetic strips coming in tomorrow as well as the lights, so I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, I don't need that now. I don't need that now. I do need this. I definitely need this. Gotta have one of these. A meter is always beneficial. Okay. Got this. One of the most important things, the lamp. Until I have my super powerful, ultra fantastic LED bars all across the top, I'm going to have the lamp. Oh, boy. The other thing I'm getting is a new chair because this is just... Also, since this used to be a shop, I have, those anti-fatigue mats. Basically, those rubber type of all over the floor here. They don't slide very well for chairs, so I think I'm going to get rid of them for a little while. Or rather, when I get the new chair, I may consider putting in one of those plastic things, but that's kind of like why when the floor's underneath. Well, actually, there's a good reason for it. The floor underneath is a very rough concrete. I will never, ever put a rough concrete again. I can see. It's a beautiful thing. All righty. So we have our equipment here. All right, let's plug the iron in. Fill this up with water. The sponge. Can't have a good Can't have a good soldering session without a wet sponge. Just saying. Alrighty. Good evening, Clyde. Good to see you. I'm just chilling here with the somewhat new bench that I just put together today. I'm gonna finish it tomorrow, but in the meantime, I've got myself a good layout for tonight's work, which involves 3 limit switches. It's just for something I got to get out. 3 limit switches, a probe, and 3 limit switches, a probe, and 4 connectors, 4 motor connectors with wires. All right. Let's grab the old 1, 2, 3, 4 connectors. We're going to need, if I remember where the heck I put them. There we go. We need 3 limit switches. Everything's buried because I needed to make space. That's the worst part about organizing a shop. I can't wait till I move into the new shop, because organizing a shop from reorganizing a shop when it's practically full is extremely annoying, because you end up wasting so much time bumping into yourself, so yeah, just saying. All right. Okay, I think I got pretty much everything I need. And haven't heard any beeps, so nobody's come in yet. All right, so let me do this in order here. First of all, let me put the males on the limit switches. This is the way I do things. Strip these 2. Let me get my flux ready. Strip the males. Now let me see here. The male end goes by itself. The female end has the limit switch on it. I always have to remind myself of that, because they're all, I configure them all the same on purpose, so there's no, questions about which way anything goes. So here we go. We'll put the shrink wrap here, shrink wrap here. Let me put all the shrink wraps on the males first, because if not, well, we tend to forget these things. This is way too small. Yeah, this will work. So what have you guys been up to lately? Been designing any projects? You've been seeing anything interesting today. I spent pretty much most of the day, most of my morning. I got to be honest with you. I mean, I was fairly productive as far as with work, but all that was yesterday. Today, all I did was watch these new gadgets on Amazon videos. Top 10 gadgets. That's all I've been doing. I do that so often lately that they pop right up on my recommended feeds, and well, pretty soon I'm going to. Okay, I don't need one of these because I already have one here. So here we go. Let's do the mails. Solder this one. Yeah. So I've been, like I said, having that show up on my feed more than anything else. Oh, I do need that one. That's for the other piece, for the probe. Of course. How silly of me. I forgot. Okay. So one of the next projects that I have on my list for this is I want to get I want to build myself a mini extraction. Just basically a couple of muffin fans with a carbon filter in between, because I ignore it and I breathe, and I've been breathing it all my life, but this stuff is not, not completely safe. Let's see. Ugh. Put the light on the. Nah, this is good. Okay. Cleaning viruses from your two computers. Oh yeah. From file package for CNC. From file, huh? Where'd you get the viruses from? That's weird. Oh, by the way, if anybody has a hobby box and they get that, and they download the files and they get that notice, that warning, the file is perfectly safe. The fact is, it's a DLL file and it's for Mach 3 and it's an XML file. Because it's a DLL file and an XML file is why you've got the computer shouting a bunch of warnings at you. But rest assured, there's no virus on there or anything, just in case you guys were wondering. Every time I try to download a file from the every time I try to download a file from the that's an XML file for the PC, it's just from Google, it's a nightmare. Just a nightmare. Okay. We got one female taken care of. The other female's right here. Let me go ahead and seal this up. Yeah, that's something I've never had an issue with. I mean, being a Mac guy. I mean, I was a PC guy, and I've had to deal with it years ago. I've never really gotten a serious virus, but then again, I don't stick my. I know better than to open certain files, and sometimes you just can't help it. But I've never been that important to target. And as far as the Mac is concerned, I mean, 1986. Okay, how many years is that? That's 35 years operating a Macs of all sorts. Zero viruses. Zero. The worst I've gotten on a Mac. The worst was was an adware thing that kept on popping up Windows, and then that was in the time when the early days of Safari, and ever since then, Mac has put so many safeguards on Safari, and Google is very, very efficient when it comes to that you actually have to, not only just click OK, but accept the extension for or something for malware, and then at that point you can easily just go over and take it off. I don't know about PCs, but I've never had an issue with a Mac. If there ever has been a piece of malware, it's just okay, click it off. It's not working. But let's see, 3D carving programs, keylogger, and others. Yeah, that's rough having keylogger issues. I mean, okay, so now I've got two of them. Let me get the third before I continue. And this will be that trash can is way too far away. And when somebody tells you, "Hey, I don't have to worry about viruses. I've got a Mac," that I hear all the time. I hear PC people complete, because I'm both. I'm both a Mac and a PC person, and the completely inept, unknowledgeable PC person will say, "Oh, a Mac can get a virus too." No. If it can, it possibly might be able to get one, but the fact that it never has, and then they say, no, 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 Macs get virus. No, no, just plain no. Never happened. It's never happened at all. It's just it, the hardware prevents it from the beginning. The ROM is in. I remember in the early days of Mac, they would not be susceptible to virus for one reason, and one reason which may be a good reason, may be a bad reason. Mac controls the machine and the operating system, so you can't change the operating system. Rather, obviously there's ways to crack and hack and all that stuff. So if you do that, well, then I guess it's possible if you have like a Hackintosh or something. And not even then. I don't think they even. But those were in the early days. In the early days, the ROM, the Mac operating system was It was Finder and System. It was System and Finder, but System and Finder relied on basically on the PROM, on the programmed read-only memory that was the Mac, that was the internal Mac instruction set. If I remember my history, I might be looking at it through rose-colored glasses, but so I'm telling you, it was an interesting time to live in. Okay, I must have forgotten the. Give me a second. Let me go grab the probe because I forgot the probe. Alrighty. One probe. Keep looking back to the computer that I got StreamYard in just to see if, because I sent Russ and Dave an invite, but Russ is out in the town, and Dave is currently still working on stuff in the shop. So I don't know if they'll be in tonight, but probably be too tired when they're done. But yeah. Good times, the Macs. I remember when I switched from Mac to PC. It was interesting. The reason why I did it was, well, plain and simple, functionality and money. I had an Epson printer that could work a parallel. I mean, this is the days of the parallel. There was no USB, and this is the days of the 286. I think the 386 had just come out because that's what I ended up getting is a 386, and I always had to have something, fresh and new. So the I was using Microsoft Excel, which was originally designed for the Mac before it was designed for the PC. Oddly enough, and or ironically enough. So then I was. It was taking forever. I used to print so many color charts and do all the fanciest graphics in the days where printers were new and 300 dots per inch on an inkjet printer was a luxury, and I could afford the luxury, or rather my parents could. So I I had that, but the printer with the Mac, and it was topped out, it was too slow. It was just wait. So it was just way too slow. And I tried it on my dad's computer. I moved my printer over to my dad's computer. He had all he did was Lotus 123. He's been a contractor all his life, and he used to do estimates on Lotus. Well, anyway, turns out the printer printed super fast on his computer, and I go, you know what? For the price of a PC, and at that time it was $3,000. For the price of a top of the line PC, I could, a Mac, I'd have to spend $6,000 for the equivalent on a Mac. And at that time, the PCs were just outrunning the Macs right and left. Yeah, my probe is done, by the way. And it was that reason that I switched for a while to PCs. And I still had my Mac, but I used it for games and stuff like that. And frankly, the PC was just phenomenal. I learned, I adapted, I became a Windows, and this was in the time of 95. It's just because I never liked 3.1. I never liked 3.1. I never liked DOS. Soon as 95 came out, and 95 I didn't enjoy at all because 95, Windows 95, until Windows 98, Windows 95 was still like 3.1 in that it was a representation of the file. Wasn't the actual file. With Windows 95, if any of you remember back that far, we that's funny. An Epson repairman for and brother printers, that's cool. With Windows 95, if you dragged a file to the garbage, you only dragged the avatar. You did not and God help you if you drag something and then lose it and stuff. Now you got to link to the original source file. It was a nightmare. Whereas Windows 98 was totally different. Now, if you threw a file in the garbage, unless it was an alias, or rather a what word is alias Mac or PC? I don't know. I always get the nomenclature all mixed up. But if it was a shortcut or alias, whichever one uses whatever word, then it would delete the actual file. And that's a beautiful thing because I got to tell you, since 1985, 86, I was used to that on my Mac. And it was not comfortable not being able to delete or rearrange folders and files and just work with, you got a list of files and folders in one place in 95, but the actual locations are in another. And no, you had to use different file explorers for it, and it was quite the time. Yep, 4 versions of 95. After this, the only thing I got left are the 4 connections for the motors. So that, as they say, is that. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. I got to remember to leave them long. Well, guys, you know how much I love talking. If you don't give me a question, I'm not going to be talking. Or something to chat about, as they say. Just give me something to talk about. Is that flux? Yes. This is flux. I loves working with flux. Well, you have to, really. I mean, one of the no-nos. People make a lot of mistakes on soldering wise. And well, let me share some of the soldering mistakes that people make. Number one, do not attempt to connect, say, the connection of a connector with a wire without tinning both. Number one, there's many numbers. When you got two wires together, I just dip them in the flux, and I could use the solder, the rosin in the solder, so that's not a problem. But the flux, as soon as I place the wicked soldering gun, that thing will just take as much as it can absorb and no more, and it's perfect. As far as let's see, what other mistakes people make? Size of the soldering tip and the size of the soldering the solder. I mean, if you're working with small stuff or surface connections, you need a fine tip. If you're working with big, thick wires, don't use a micro tip for that. You'll never, and don't use a 0.1 millimeter solder. You'll never get it. You'll just create bad solder after bad solder. One of the other things I always like to get across with people is the importance, and I don't care how many times I say it, I'm guilty of it as well. The importance of putting the heat shrink on, if you're using heat shrink, obviously, putting the heat shrink on first before you go, or the back of the connector, for instance, or whatever. In multiple orders, let me see. Do I know? This glare is killing me. Did I know that Epson printer has to have a print fast, at least run? Do you know that Epson printers have to have a print test at least run through once a month, or the print heads will clog up? Well, I didn't know it had to have a print test, but I've never had an issue with Epson. Well, then again, come to think of it, it's been a long time since I've used Epson because, okay, so I've used Epsons when they first came out, and I used them so frequently that I mean, I don't think there would have been a point for a print test, except obviously to test all the heads. But I used them so often. I doubt they would ever have time to clog. Um, then I went to Canon. Canon's got much uh, bigger heads. They waste more ink, but the ink's cheaper. And I found a lot of and most of the time with Canon systems, I use the CIA continuous inking system. Right now, what I have is I have a Canon with a continuous inking system, and I use for my dye sublimation, I use an Epson, the ET tanks. Those things are fantastic. I love them. And yeah, I run the occasional tests. I do take care of that machine because when that one goes, that's a lot of money. It's a $500 printer. You know, you don't want to be goofing around with and clogging those heads. I had, for those of you that know, I've had a sign shop, and for years I had a printers that use the DX5 heads. We're talking. I had a Mamaki 65-inch printer, and I would use it quite extensively. The print head finally just gave out. One of the reds, it had two magentas, two yellows, two cyans, and two blacks. One of the magenta heads, so I had to compensate by doubling up on the. I had to color adjust, and it was never right. It was a shame, is what it was. It was a darn shame, and it was at a time where I was just about to get rid of the business because all the equipment was depreciated, and I had to. Bottom line was the motherboard was bad. It was $6,000. The print head was $4,000, and I wasn't about to spend $10,000 on a printer that cost me 15, and I wasn't about to buy a brand new printer. So in the end, that was the end of my sign business. Sold it, and was happy to move on. Very happy to move on. Okay, so we got one done here. Yeah, I'll tell you. That's the beautiful thing about. I've had good luck with Epsons. I can't stand HP. I hate them with a passion, but mostly because of their cost. I mean, the only advantage to HP is that they have the print heads in the cartridges, but they just use cheap print heads. My point is proven because you try to refill them more than once, and that's it. They're shot, even if you catch them before they're empty. Well, anyway, Epsons are solid. They're permanent on the machine, and and Canons, at least most of the Canons that I've worked with. The beautiful thing about the Canons is that you've got a removable print head, and if you've seen the Canons, you've got the cartridges that go into the cartridges clip on to a plastic piece, which is the housing, but it's also the print head. So you can actually remove the cartridges, pop out the cartridges, and then pop out the print head. Soak the print head in alcohol, and I mean, you're good to go. Well, hot, warm water is all you really need. I've never had a problem cleaning out a Canon print head. Never had an issue. But then again, I've Also, never had a problem with with an Epson print head. Epsons are fantastic printers. And brother, oh, I mean, and oh brother, no, brother itself. All my laser printers have been brother for the past, I don't know. I can't tell you how long, because they are so reliable. They are so efficient as far as um, consumption, as far as return on investment of your toner. And they're the best bang for your buck, and excellent quality for long term, well, even short term, and very very reliable. I mean, I've the only reason I ever got new ones is because new features come out, because it takes that long for me to get me to want to switch my laser printers. Yeah, that's exactly what you do when they clog, is just rub a little alcohol and that's it. What are you using the sublimation for? Um, I Dave Gatton rarely mentions it, but I'm the one that he had an idea for the sublimate to get into sublimation once or twice. I'm the one that finally prompted him to. I'm the one that pushed him over the edge. Um, and I recommended that same printer that I have for him. I've been using in the past. I've used actual sublimation printers when I had my shop, but they were ridiculously expensive, and it was for mostly for. Remember, I was a trophy shop, so I was engraving trophy plates and things like that, all types of awards, and then since I had the ability, occasionally, if somebody asked for a T-shirt or something, which I hated to get into because it was just so easy to sub that out. I mean, it's not worth doing it yourself, never, unless you got 100 T-shirts, and then in that case, again, it's not worth your time. You can have somebody silk screen them rather than do sublimation. But for onesies and for friends and stuff like that, or for custom orders, I never minded. Mugs, I did tons of because I still have the promotional products company. So, uh, so yeah, we're talking. I rarely do anything but drop ship. I'll use Bullet Line and other resources that I've uh, gotten a very good connection to, and I'm very happy with their service. Um, but for my sublimation, um, I really love the Epson. It's fantastic for, again, what I still do is there's a few customers that I service that require the odd award, because once a year I have hang on a second. Come on, you can do it. There you go. Once a year I have a bunch of big orders. Um, I have a tri-county uh, awards that are for that come with scholarships that I get paid very handsomely for, and of course, I forgot the heat shrink. It's right there in front of me. So I I do those awards, And aside from those awards, the same company calls on me for 2 or 3 awards a month. 10-year anniversary plaques or 15-year, 20-year for their employees and stuff. I can't say no. I'm only going to do your once a year thing. Because then they'll find somebody else, or they might find somebody else. But I don't want to take a chance because it's a very, very big and lucrative job for only one day's work. Now, so I do the piddly stuff, but this is an old customer from an old business, and I I do not take on new clients because I'm not in that business anymore. I mean, uh, yeah, I mean, promotional products. I got a guy that runs it for me, and it's all drop ship. This is engraving awards. I got rid of that business some time ago because it was just not lucrative. But you know what they say if you're in business, that 20% of your customers are 80% of your gross, and then 80% of your customers. Well, I can go further and say that 1% of my customers was 90% of my gross. I just kept the 1% and I dropped the rest, and if they end up and a few have left, if they end up leaving, I'm not going to search for new ones. I'm just going to service the ones that that I have now. The company's still active, but the only reason the company's there is for the old customers, because that way I don't have to worry about sales or work. I have to put no time into it. Basically, it's that's the long answer to what I sublimate. In the past, I have sublimated everything and anything. I've sublimated on glass, on tile, on acrylic, on obviously on all types of textiles, on mugs. I showed Dave what type of mugs to get and what type of those issues, and he pretty much learned that most of that by himself anyway with YouTube today. I mean, this was back in 2000s when I was doing this. The only way you could sublimate, you didn't have sublimatable ink that can go in a regular printer. This is before the C30s and the C50s, the Canons. Um, the only sublimatable printers that you had, other than the industrial expensive ones, were the Rico Officio 750, 950, 900. I don't remember which one I had, but they had these big cartridges from Sawgrass Technologies. And that was the only way you can get sublimatable ink back then. Because sublimation was a film and powder process, not ink. And well, technology moves forward. It's a beautiful thing, I guess. But now, let's see. Brother Laser Printer is the only one you can run a sock through. Really? That's funny. I've never tried that, but sounds interesting. Okay, I need to get my other clamp for this one. Be right back. Let me look for it, because now I don't know which box I buried it in. That's not it. Got to be one of these two. There it is, or at least one of them. good enough. And I need wire. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm using the EcoTank 2720 now. I used to use the Rico for years, and then before that, I forgot the name of the machine that I had, but it was sublimation. It was pure. It was a sublimation machine. Yep. How's it going, Dan? How are you? Yeah, we were just talking about everything under the sun, from Windows 95 to sublimation printers to, well, just about anything you want to talk about. Name your poison, Dan. Name your topic. I am. So I just created, Dan. You missed the other part. I just built this this workbench here at home because I like my workbench so much. I'm going to put the middle shelf soon, and I'm going to put lights and outlets. I have all that on order at Amazon. You know, the usual. Amazon's a beautiful thing. Just never stop ordering from them. And trying to obtain my goal tonight of, I mean, I got pretty much done. I got the bench mostly done. And now the next thing that I'm doing is, like I said, is I'm trying to yeah, if you want, I'll be happy to do that. I mean, I can actually, yeah, let me go ahead and do that now. Let's make this an overhead camera. Let's see how this will work out, if it works out. Trouble is, it's upside down. Let's see. Interesting. Okay, hang on. Oops, sorry. Wow, the camera adjusts for the light, and unfortunately, well, anyway, I don't know if you guys can see me see that, but I guess, yeah, well, I can't see that is the problem. All right. I am tinning the connections at the moment. Did those. How's that working out, Paul? Just out of curiosity there. Okay. Excellent. Glad to see. Glad to hear it. Okay. Now, basically, I'm going to take each one of them and drop them. Let's see here. There we go. Now I've got the. Let me go grab the strand of wire here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 15 feet. That should do nicely. And do the old strippy strip. Cut these things. That stupid little annoying thread. How did I make the bench? Okay. Well, I went and grabbed the plywood that I had, and let me see. I want to get this nice and close here, so there we go. All 4 stripped. 1 twist, 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 and twist. So I basically I made a box, for lack of a better word. I made a box out of 3/4 ply. So I took 2 pieces and cut them to 3 inches. I mean, 1.5 inches short of 8 feet. The back piece is 8 feet long by 2 foot. These are also 2 foot, so they stick out 2 feet from the back. They're screwed on to the back. And the reason I made them just short of 8 feet is so I could put the sides, which again are 3/4 of an inch on each side, which makes up your 1.5 inches. So I made a box, basically. So I have a box now. One side of the box is my bottom. One side of the box is the top. And I'm going to add a shelf in the middle. It's basically, when I'm through with this, it's going to be, I want to say portable. Portable in the sense that right now, I'll show you in a little while, but right now what I did was I used these monstrous Spax deck screws in order to attach it to the studs. So all I did was I put a 2x2 header on the wall, or 2x4, anything works, at 32 inches high. And then I just set the box on it, pushed it. I mean, I obviously, that's why I have the table here. Set the box on the table, leaned it up on the put it on the lip of the 2x2 header, leaned it back, and drilled the first monstrous screw in. And 5 or 6 screws later, and this thing is solid as a rock. Well, it could stand to be more solid. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Is tomorrow is I'm working on the all the other pieces. I'm trying not to drip on my new bench. I ordered a. I'm dripping on the instead. I'm dripping on the tools here because I ordered a new silicone mat because the one I have over there. It first of all, this it just happens to be that I had a bunch of sheets of lacquered on one side 3/4 cabinet grade material. So that's what I used, and well, there are. Hang on, let me. Okay, so this is the important part. Make sure you put in the connector first, you know, and of course the heat shrink, you know. So anyway, so what happens? Okay, now hang on. I got to think because this part I have to make sure I see exactly. Okay, this is the curve. So it goes this way. So it's red, blue, yellow, black. Okay, red. Let me see here. So hang on, let me read the things here. How do you make the bench? And nice work. Oh, thank you. And so what I'm basically going to do now is do everything that I did with the other bench that I have in the other place, which is okay. First of all, I can barely see here. Let me see if I can. I guess I did it. Nope. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. I need to put this different. Okay, so that's blue. So let me do the blue. This is just, it's ridiculous. I can't see a thing. It's either not enough light or my glasses are just. I'm going to be getting an eye exam soon with contacts and everything. I have a jeweler's set of glasses, but I don't want to. Hang on. Clean that off. I don't want to use that because frankly, it gives me a headache. Okay, red, blue, and then comes. Wait a second. What the? Figures. Blue's on the wrong one. like I said, it's no fun when you can't even see this. That blue, now black is next. Not yellow, so. So let me see. I don't know if you guys. Okay, what? Get a small dinner plate to drink. Yeah, yeah. Small dinner plate. Yeah, my wife won't miss it at all. Well, here's the funny part. So a friend of ours, Dan knows him, Lou, gave me these Mickey plates. Okay, I'm very, very fond of these Mickey Mouse plates. My wife loved the whole Chef Mickey plates in the beginning. However, she does not currently like it because, well, frankly, they're heavy. They're very, very heavy. So, I'm sure she wouldn't mind if those, kind of disappear. But I love those plates, so I ain't using them. And the thing I like most about the plates, more than anything else, is that the plates themselves are deeper than any other plate. So they're actually, you can almost call them bowls. So I love that about those plates. Anyway. Now I got to do the old loosen. Then the old find the hole, match the hole, put in the screw without grabbing two screws. And we have ourselves one of 4 connectors and 3 more connectors, and we're done for the night. All right, let me grab my zip ties, which, again, normally I have all these things at my fingertips. But, well, it is what it is. Okay, what lights and outlets did I order? I ordered a set of there's a set of 6, which I forgot how much they came to. I think they're in the neighborhood of $30 to $40. I don't remember. 6. I'm very happy with them. Really thin tube lights. They're LED tube lights, and they connect to each other, but they have plugs. They come with 3 plugs or 5 plugs and 5 connectors to connect them to each other, and it's really cool. And they come with the brackets, little tiny brackets that you could screw in onto the wood, and there you go. Well, that those are the lights that I'm ordered. So I'll show you when they come in. In fact, they'll be in tomorrow, so I expect them to be in tomorrow. You never know with Amazon sometimes. It's when they say. Most of the time, it's when they say, but I might be wrong about the date. And the outlets that I ordered them last time from Amazon. Again, these power strips that you plug in, and you have one switch for all the power strips. And I don't mind because I have these. Hang on, let me yank these things out. I have these. I love these little TP-Link Casa remote lights. They got a button on them to turn them on and off, and I can. And at least in the other place, I have everything by remote control, so I could turn on everything and anything at my choosing. And when I leave at night, I shut everything down, and then that way I know that there's no chance for, when the power's shut down completely, so there's no chance for a fire or mishap or anything. God forbid, because I am using uh, solder and solder pot and all that. So, all right. So let's just strip this for the guy, just in case, and let them worry about the. In fact, let them worry about stripping the wire. I've done enough. Normally, I send connectors, but I've taken so long that I just decided to give him a little extra, and I gave him some wires. He's been waiting for a while, and the only reason I did that is because I never warned him that it was going to take that long. Because honestly, I'll tell you guys right now, if anybody orders any parts from me, be prepared to wait, because I promised from the beginning that I fulfill the orders in the order that they come in. So if I've got 4 Javi boxes ahead of someone, and someone orders a simple cable, well, I'm sorry, but I gotta complete the orders, because that cable may take me. Well, this little tiny order took me an hour and a half, and normally I would have a bunch of this stuff all done in bulk ahead of time, but I took my time to do the order. But no more. I mean, from now on, it's first come first serve, and if it's 3 to 6 weeks for a hobby box, it's also 3 to 6 weeks for a little cable or spin. So order ahead of time if you're going to order something, because I can't be bumping people off the list and then making them wait 8 weeks for a thing when they place the order first. I'm just saying, fair is fair. Yeah, let me tell you, FIFO. Oh yeah, first in, first out. FIFO it is. Now, yeah, the TP Link, they're it's pretty cool. It's nothing more than a okay, so let me see what order I'm going to do this. Okay, so that's red first, and red is right in the quarter. Okay. It, I love these things. I love I never really paid much attention to them in the past. I never really cared about them. But it's gotten to the point that I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the remote control aspect of. Normally, I'd shut everything off, but it's just like, for instance, I would walk in and out of the container of the workbench, and and I end up forgetting to turn something off, or I have to switch everything off one by one, one by one, one by one, and it is just so easy to walk out and I go, you know what, I'm done for the night, and I get on my phone, I click one button, and it shuts. It does an entire program shutting every single thing down, and that is precisely what I love about it. And if I'm in the shop, for instance, I don't mind doing the same thing. I don't mind. Oh boy, there we go. Come on, there he is. See, the problem, folks, is that I can't see, so I'm pressing down and I'm pressing down, and all I'm doing is pressing on the corner on the plastic, and getting old is not fun. Not fun at all. Nope, not fun. Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure nothing's inadvertently touching. This lighting is not the best in the world. When I get the new lights, that'll be the ticket. Okay. And now, of course, you guys may have noticed I did not put the connector on first. I did not put the heat shrink. But no worries, because I do have this is just nothing more than a long wire. I'm just going to have to do it go in the long way, as they say. Okay. Yeah, Dan has been prompting me to get this for quite a while, and also he's been also pushing the what's that little y those little cameras that you wire? No, you'll tell me in a second. Whatever the name of those cameras are, those Wi-Fi cameras. Wise, that's it. Wise. And yeah, I'll eventually succumb to the um, digital remote world. But for now, I'm just doing little by little. I'm moving a little by little. I'm gonna eventually, the Wise Cam. I'm eventually gonna do the in the new house. I want to really go all out with the lights. I like the idea of having them both controlled by the switches and by remote. As long as I have switches to control them. My issue is that sometimes I tend to, like the fan, for instance. I have one on the fan in my office, and Well, I get hot. I turn the fan on. Okay, that's all well and good. I get I get cold and I manually turn the fan off, forgetting that I got to do it through the remote. So now I got one more problem. That's what I got to work through, is getting used to not shutting stuff off with the switch. Likewise, if you're going to do this system, you either have to buy something that's Casa or whatever smart home compatible, like a smart home coffee maker, or you have to buy something that's so incredibly stupid, like a coffee maker that has no timer or anything, that as soon as you turn it on, it starts making coffee. Now, that's what, then you can hook it up to your system, but until then, here we go. We did the second one here. I will probably, as soon as I finish the third and fourth, I'll be off, but probably take me another, I don't know, I figure take me till 10, so I'll probably be on here till 10, folks, tonight. It is maybe till 9. I don't know how long that last one took me, but I'm going to start counting just to see. Let's see here. And the old strippy strip. Have a nice day. You strip the rest yourself, and here we go. Alrighty. There's 2 down, 2 to go. Next cable. I'm starting at 9:42, I believe. So let's see how long this one takes me. I'm going to try to do it as quickly as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4. Twist, twist, twist. Cut, cut, cut. Dip. Dip in the flux, dip in the flux, dip in the flux. Tin. So yeah, one of the next projects I have, aside from the this completing this workbench, is to build one of those little. Look, I have the fans. I have these little muffin fans. I actually have a couple spare small power supply. I got a 24-volt power supply that would be perfect because I could wire the fans in series. And there we go. And I'm done with the wiring section of it. Let me put the this thing in first. And the the connector, and then of course the heat shrink. All I got to do is build a little tiny box, put some sort of a carbon filter on it, and I'm done, folks. I mean, it's basically, it wires to a power supply. It's and I have a little fan here blowing out with a carbon filter on it, and then I don't have to worry about fumes in my face or breathing the fumes. Okay, so that would be the red. Sorry, mine went blank for a second there. This one over here is going to be black. Nope, it's yellow. Gotta get all the colors right. This one will be blue. Yank it through here. And finally, the black. Not too bad, 9:47, so 5 minutes. But I haven't put the connector on yet, so there is that. Heat shrink. Double check, yeah, it's all right. All right, so 9:48, 6-7 minutes, let's say. So at 5 till, I expect our evening will be done, or thereabouts. Probably, like I said, 10 o'clock. Have a good one, Glenn. Have a nice evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. With the workbench issue, with the workbench and soldering. One more cable and we're through for the night. Doing well, Granddad. Doing well. Alrighty. Connector, of course. Then ye old heat shrink. So Dan, did Regina finally? I mean, what finally happened with the kids and everything? Have you spoken to Regina at all about what's about Bob's well, self-inflicted death? You are Granddad. I think you're on the wrong channel. That's a darn shame. It's a shame for the kids. I know how. I mean, I couldn't even begin to imagine how she's well, she doesn't care, but how they're gonna take it. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Let's see. So this would be red over here. I mean, did they expect anything like that, or is it came as a total shock to them? Yeah, well, you would have to. I mean, I can't imagine anybody doing that without having major depression, but, no doubt the Dems are going to classify it as a COVID related death. But, well, that's what happens. And with that, I am pretty much complete. Okay, excellent. Alrighty. Okay, thought I opened this up quite a bit. I guess I didn't open it enough. That's the way it goes sometimes. Well, yep, Dave, likewise. Let me swap the camera here. Hang on. Alrighty. Right. So, folks, thank you again for joining us. Once again, happy to see you guys on our wonderful casual chatting with Javi. And you guys have a wonderful day. Continue with your CNC designs. All of you enjoy your retirements. And you all have a pleasant evening. Same bat time, same bat channel. I'll be on all week. So you guys have a great evening, and I'm done for the night. So good night. And have a good one, Dan. I'll talk to you later. Let me go shut down the stream. Oh, joy. Good night.